Dilophosaurs. They are one of the most common creatures in Ark and can be found on almost any map. Infamous for being one of the biggest nuisances there is, they are weak carnivores that can drop the taming effectiveness of anything you are trying to recruit. They come in a few varieties, those being R. Dilophosaur, VR Dilophosaur, and Corrupted Dilophosaur, all of which have the exact same stats as the regular Dilophosaur. Wild Dilophosaurs are very weak, but quick-tempered creatures. They typically can be seen pissing off local parasaurs and moss chops and getting clapped by trikes. They can usually be found around beaches and plains, though sometimes around forests as well. The Dilophosaur's base stats are very puny, with a level 1 Dilophosaur only having 130 base health and 10 damage, and a level 150 Dilophosaur typically having around 800 health and 40 damage. This makes them very susceptible to most anything. The lower leveled ones can be taken out with just a stone hatchet. That being said, the cheapest and most effective way is almost always going to be a quick spear or arrow to the face. Since they are so easy to kill, Dilophosaurs provide an easy way to get an early game supply of hide and meat. The only ability a Dilophosaur has other than raw melee is their spit attack. This applies a 10-second debuff to anything afflicted that greatly reduces movement speed and visibility on the target. The spit attack is not particularly hard to dodge as a survivor, but can be quite effective against larger or slower enemies. The spit attack is always going to be used by the Dilophosaur when attacking anything. The spit attack can be capitalized by putting them in turret mode, which will make them only spit and stand in one place. Useful or not, it is something that they do. Taming a Dilophosaur is extremely easy. They have one of the lowest torpidities of any creature, with a base of 75 torpor and 4.5 added for each level. This makes them liable to be knocked out by even the most brute force of methods. Taking them down can be achieved easily with a slingshot or trank arrows, or even a fist or a hatchet for the lower leveled ones. Pretty much anything that deals torpor can knock out these guys. Once knocked out, their food starts to drain rapidly and only takes a couple pieces of meat before completely tamed. However, if you want to be a complete nerd, you can also feed them basic kibble to speed up the process a little bit. A tamed Dilophosaur does not have much to offer. They can't be ridden or carried, but they are typically used for early game offense and defense, with more success coming from greater numbers. Other than weak damagers, Dilophosaurs can also be used as a mobile storage box, carrying heavier items for its beloved survivor. Don't expect much though, as their weight isn't extraordinary for a mobile storage box. Other than a storage box in melee, they can also be used as a turret with their spit attack, but this is slow, inconsistent, and really not useful for most circumstances. If those things don't float your boat, they do reproduce pretty quickly. A large amount of Dilophosaurs can be gathered just from two different gendered ones, and you can create a giant swarm to take down much larger enemies. Or they can be used as a tiny egg farm. Their eggs can be eaten by survivors for easy food or made into basic kibble. Overall, Dilophosaurs are very specifically an early game creature. Even in early game, they are easily outclassed by many other tames, or even the survivors themselves. Essentially, Dilophosaurs are meme dinos that cuck you and your tames any chance they get. 3 out of 10. Not completely useless, but pretty damn close.